Hello and welcome to this midweek edition of Market Update and Equity Analysis coming to you on the platform of Stocks TV Nigeria. And I want to believe that each and every presentation had always left you with one information or the other that you can use. If that is the case, please do not hesitate to reaching us on 081 35 000-777, 081 35 000-777. If you are calling from the international environment, you can add +234. Activities on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange for Wednesday, the 17th day of August 2016, was better than they were on Tuesday, significantly. One of the expected results, talking about audited second quarter report, was released to the market during trading hours, and that was a result from Guaranteed Trust Bank PLC. And when you talk about Guaranteed Trust Bank PLC, in price, as at today, it is the highest among banking stocks. So the episode for today shall be likely devoted to looking at the basic ratios from the second quarter results of Guaranteed Trust Bank PLC. Can we say that the result from this organization justify the current price performance of the equity? And one thing we are going to be doing significantly is to compare it with the next equity in price, which is Zenith Bank. So we're going to be looking at the audited account for December 31st, 2015 of both organizations, just looking at the profit after tax and probably the earnings. And then we come to their first quarter 2015 accounts, and then we go to, before we settle down on the second quarter 2016 account. And we look at just the basic ratios, and then we compare with price to see which of them is actually better. This and more we shall be bringing to you. I've got two market operators in the house that will be doing justice to all these that we have in mind to bring to you today adequately. So please stay logged on. I will be right back. Welcome back. To do justice to all that we got to do on the program this day are two reputable gentlemen as far as the Nigerian equity market is concerned. And in a few minutes from now, you will definitely agree with me that they are indeed reputable gentlemen when it comes to equity analysis, stock picks on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. So to my right is our friend, Bright Itogile. You are welcome. And to my left is also our friend, Aruna Kebera.
Thank you for having me.
You guys keep getting it right. I remember that our first presentation for this week, Bright did say that he expected the market to be up for at least the next 2 days. And so he got it right. Aruna actually said because of the fact that the market gained, at least the all-share index of the Nigerian Stock Exchange gained on Monday. He said there's every possibility that the market might remain upbeat for the rest of the week. Out of 5, as of today, I guess Aruna had scored 3. So we still we still have between tomorrow and Friday to see. I come to you, Bright. The all-share index of the Nigerian Stock Exchange was up 0.18%, market capitalization up 0.18%, volume up 26.11%, value 2.65%, though deals, just like yesterday too, were down marginally 2.11%, right? What would you say have been the factors behind the performance of the market, at least since the beginning of the week?
Well, before this week, the market had a very bearish run. And given the positive gain we recorded on Monday, Tuesday, then today, you will agree with me that investors' confidence is there, but still weak. That notwithstanding, with the declining deals in the market, that is also a point that we may be seeing fewer people actually trading in the market, as in the number of days recorded. The days, if you look at the number of days went up by 2.7% compared to what happened yesterday, which was also about went down by 6.something% as against on Monday. So with these declining deals, we should expect a mixed outcome between Thursday and Friday.
Aaron, do you support his submission or you differ in opinion?
What I'm thinking is that the market broke tradition on Monday, beginning Monday, and it normally lose on Monday and Fridays. So the market has gained 3 days on Wednesday, consistently from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. If the market still gain on Thursday, there's every possibility that the market may look down on Friday, because people will be taking their profits.
I don't think that even from Thursday, people will begin to take profit.
Yes, people might begin to take profit, depending on the stock they are taking profits in. Okay. If it is low cap stock, may not have the effect of pulling down the all-share index.
But likely, I could say the market was a lot better today, being Wednesday, the 17th of August, than what action or activities we've seen so far. Why did I say so? The number of equities on the gainers chart largely increased from what it was on Monday and Tuesday on Wednesday. So if you talk about the number of equities on the gainers chart, we're looking at about 22 against those on the losers chart. There are just 17, not that alone. For the first time this week, we are seeing a situation where the highest percentage gainer gained above 5%. For Wednesday, we saw ETI making an appreciation of 8.71%, and of course, almost at par with the highest percentage that was lost, which was just 8.94% by CCNN. So, considering this factor that the number of equity on the losers chart are declining or declined relative to the performances of Monday and Tuesday, and of course the equities on the gainers chart increased relative to what the performances of this were Monday and Tuesday. To me, I think to a large extent the market is actually trying to stay afloat, right? But again, if you take the time to look at these basic indicators, we could see the profit taking that Bright was talking about had started reflecting, particularly when you talk about value. So from this, it's like buyers and sellers are not really agreeing to a large extent. But let's now come quickly to some of the activities in the market for Wednesday. And that is where I want us to dwell. Much later, we could come to the percentage gainers or the gainers or on the losers, and of course, the deals driver, volume driver, and value driver. One of the expectations in the last couple of weeks had been the second quarter reports of 4 banks last week. One of those 4 banks released its second quarter audited report. Today, the second bank of the 4, Guaranty Trust Bank PLC, released its second quarter audited report. And we've got the summary here. I'm not looking at profit after tax or turnover or whatever, but what I have decided to do is to compare and contrast between Zenith. Why Zenith? Guaranty is the highest priced bank stock on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, and Zenith is just the next. So you just take the best 2, and then we compare and contrast. But seeing the result from Guaranty, Bright, I'm sure you were on the floor trading actively as at the time the result of Guaranty was released to the market. When you opened the site and you saw the result, what were the basic highlights that caught your attentions?
Yeah, actually, the top line, the bottom line also. But when I take a second look at the red flag zone given in macroeconomic state we currently have, I noticed that the impairment charge increased from
that is loan loss provision.
Yes, increased from about 5 billion to about 37 billion for the 6 months. And over 90% of that increment was recorded in the last 3 months, between the month of from March, in the second quarter, from April, May, June. They recorded they recorded about 35 billion naira payment charge. That's a red flag as far as that financial is concerned. At the same time, if we should ask ourselves, as the challenges we are having in the economic system come down, no. Will these challenges still be there? If you ask me, I will say yes. How will these challenges affect bank performance? Obviously, the second quarter report has given us as an indication of how this bank will perform towards the end of the year. That notwithstanding, are we saying they don't have enough mitigating strategy to put this impairment something in check? That is left for the bank. But from what they've submitted, which we the outsiders look at and we make inferences from, definitely all is nowhere with the banking sector with respect to the issue of bad debt.
And again, I will come to Aruna very shortly, still talking about impairment, like what FBN is commonly being accused of, that this is what has just been declared. What will be subsequently, we don't know. If within 3 months, Guaranty generated over 35 billion loan loss provision, because again, the CBN insisted that they must make provision for it fully. So we don't know what is going to happen again for the third quarter and for the audited report. Okay, Aruna, when you saw, because it is possible for 5 individuals to be looking at the same set of figures, and those set of figures will make different meanings to them. In other words, the way we perceive, the way we analyze, the way we assimilate are different. All right. So, what would you say as at the time you first saw the result from Guaranty?
Yeah. When I got to the floor, I I actually was interested in taking position in Guarantee stock this morning.
Shortly before the result was released?
Before the result was released.
God save your
so
soul.
I went and took, I was bearish, I was quoting for 23 plus, and all of a sudden somebody put 650,000 unit at 25 now. And then there was this pop-up of the summary of the results. The first thing I went to look at is there any per share. I discovered there was a growth from 1 naira 88 kobo to 2 naira 74 kobo. And I went and calculated the increase, it was 45.7%, and I said, wow. No wonder. By the time I was doing this, the pre-open adjust are setting, and you cannot do anything, you can't make another except market makers. So we have to wait. My mind was still telling me that the state of the market is not right from this rally that we're about to see in GT. Actually, the price went straight to 26.25, which was the highest of the night. It was on bid. But there was this pressure of sales. Sell pressure was still coming, and it took from 26 until it came arrested and closed at 25 now.
Okay, looking at all this, how would you rate the performance of the bank? You were talking about earning per share of 2 naira 74 kobo, all right? Looking at it, but Aruna, did you immediately consider the source of that sharp increase in earning per share?
Yes, while I perused carefully the report, I discovered that they use their comprehensive income to calculate their EPS, which Zenith Bank did not do. Because if Zenith Bank have done that, they would have come with 2 naira 38 kobo any per share. And why they choose to do that? Because I think we are seeing that for the second time. I think it was UCAP that did that. They didn't use their comprehensive earnings to calculate their any per share, maybe for sake of comparison against next year.
First Bank did do same too.
So
First Bank too. FBNH, right?
So what I have come to find out is that my people said that it's bad for the horse, that is why it's bad for the donkey. It's like all the banks are having this kind of problem, because when First Bank began to make provision, they said it was only with First Bank. And when Zenith Bank released the result, instead of the price to begin to go up, it will begin to come down.
But let me stop you shortly. Is the empowerment, all right, the provision for loan loss with Zenith was actually not as much as this that we have seen.
Exactly
if I look, I don't think it's up to 10 billion.
So if because of that they were selling down Zenith, and somebody would have taken the time to look at the financials this morning before jumping in at 26.25.
Okay, let me come to you, Bright. You trade actively, all right? We're not still talking about, we'll come to critical comparison between Zenith and Guarantee. Will you say that the 25 naira price tag on the stock of Guarantee as at today is appropriate, or you think that there is something else working in favor of Zenith, Guarantee, more than ordinary eyes can see?
When it comes to equity trading, generally equity market, there's no equity in the market.
No equity?
There's no equity in the
market.
But
it is equity.
But it is equity market. So that is what we are seeing. If you look at the financials, Zenith, GT, you will agree with me that what has actually taken Guarantee to this level is not, from my point of view, too far from sentiment. One, what are we looking at for when you are investing is return on investment.
Thank you, in return.
That is the basic thing. Is if it is safety, well, they will say yes. But from the financials and from the bad debt fever that is currently ravaging the banking sector, why should we still find ourselves in a place where we have much garbage? that could eventually lead to stinking environment. That being said, the issue of goodwill cannot be taken out for guarantee. And in the equity markets, when pricing goodwill is subjective. So if that is part of equity market, which necessarily make equity market not to have equity in the sense of justice, particularly security pricing, then let's take it the way we see it in the market. And we hope that activities on Zenith should warrant events that will eventually make us see the price gap between Zenith and guarantee coming to a convergence level.
Do you really see that happening in the market arena?
Well, not in the immediate, because if you can look at it, there is a 10-naira gap between Zenith and between Zenith and guarantee. I think, like I said, it's not true that brokers manipulate prices.
No.
Is it only
issuers can manipulate prices?
No, it's not
overtly or covertly.
It's not even brokers alone that buy and sell stocks. I mean, there are some other institutional investors, all right? And it is the demand, the order that they give to brokers. In fact, I have never believed, and I will never believe, that brokers manipulate price, because you might have the mind that you want to manipulate, but do you know what is in the mind of one investor out there? Do you know what is in the mind of one foreign institutional investor? And then he has given his order, because when you look at the prices of all these equities in dollar, they are zero actually.
Yeah, let me come in from this point. Brokers are not the only one responsible
for price performance. That's
you understand? We now have a system whereby any discerning investor, when enabled, can trade from any part of the world in the market.
I keep telling people that if you are not connected to the internet,
it's transparent enough for price discovery.
Yes, that's why I keep saying that if you are not connected to the internet in our market now, you don't just belong.
Before I became a broker, I was an analyst, and I can still remember vividly how I normally confront my managing director then whenever I come back from trading. The moment I qualified and became a broker, and I saw how price discovery take place in the market, though I've left him, I have to look at him and apologize to him. If he's watching me now, he would accept, he will attest to what I'm saying. I apologize to him.
I think what I see in Zenith and guarantee is a matter of packaging, because it depends on your disposition, how you constitute yourself. One thing that's also working for guarantee is their share would be
distribution.
If foreign investors are coming in, they look at all these statistics. They look at all these indices before they pitch their tent. They will look at that. I think over the time, guarantee has been favored maybe because of the way they package. Like this guy said, one of the commentators said the difference between plantain chips and bekere is in packaging.
Okay, let's now begin to look at some of these key figures, and you will find out that it is not just an event that started today. It has always been there. I went back to 2015, the full year auditor report as of December 31st, 2015. The earning per share. Of course, there are so many ratios. If you begin to calculate the ratios on each of these institutions, all right, we'll be here for the next 2-3 hours. But I just decided to pick the quick one, the first one, like ABC of ratio analysis. Of course, these figures, I don't know what the issues of some investors are. We give kudos. I continue to appreciate the efforts of the current management of the stock exchange. If there's anything they have done that makes sure that information is not just available, but equitably distributed So you are a broker, I am not, right? You buy and sell shares, I don't. But we have access to the same set of information at the same time. There was a day I was with you, Aruna, on our online radio, Stocks Watch FM Nigeria. I think it was the day that Nestle brought their result.
Yeah.
And I asked you, and you said you have not even looked at you have not seen it. And I, outside of the market, have seen it. And so this is what I keep telling investors. Some people on one of our platforms, on Stock Market Investors platform on WhatsApp, will say that, why is this, why is that? So do you know that long after the market closed, somebody was just telling us that Guarantee released its result and they paid interim dividend. Somebody
was saying that it's supposed to
because as at that, the story has already expired. Now, for 2015, Zenith had 3 naira 36 kobo earning per share. Guarantee 3 naira 51 kobo. We come to the first quarter, 2016. Guarantee 90 kobo. Zenith 84 kobo. So what
is that big gap
what is that necessitated
gap in pricing?
The gap in pricing. Because I keep telling people, if you want to buy stocks, there should be certain basis. So now the 2 stocks or the 2 organizations paid 25 kobo interim dividend, and this is what they have always done. Guarantee have never surpassed Zenith in the payment of interim dividend. When we did the calculation of the dividend yield at 25 kobo, right? For Q2, Zenith recorded 1.67% dividend yield. Guarantee recorded 1% dividend yield. Earning per share, irrespective of the fact that Zenith did not incorporate all the gains made in the fluctuation in currency, naira against the dollar, irrespective of the fact that Zenith did not incorporate that, and Guarantee fully incorporated that. Guarantee had 9.12 P ratio, and then Zenith had 10.49 P ratio. So the earnings yield upon the fact that Zenith did not incorporate and Guarantee incorporated all the earnings from their currency related income. Zenith had 9.53%. Guarantee had 10.96%. If only Zenith had incorporated, I think by all standards, Zenith will be beating Guarantee hands down.
In terms of what?
In terms of earnings, all right, in terms of earnings yield, in terms of dividend yield, in terms of PE ratio, all right? Earning per share. So basically, will I be wrong to say that the market is unfair to Zenith and had been excessively fair to Guarantee?
I think you can say that, because if you look at it, if you ask me at this level, if you have 15 naira, you buy 3 units of Zenith Bank, to get 75 power. But that 15 naira will give you 2 units of Guarantee to get 50 power. So where will the return be better? It's Zenith, and it's not being priced appropriately.
I think that's to justify my saying that in the equity market there's no equity. It's left for you to discover that which will give you the equity that you desire.
Let me ask you, right? Of course, that's why I love this platform. And I'm not in a haste to make presentations that is restricted to the local terrestrial outfits. I'm not bothered about that. It might take us a long while to get the required number to begin to take advantage of what we do here. But I'm very sure if we do not stop, we will definitely achieve it, because this has been able to break the barrier of geography. All right? Now, for people that are watching us, maybe they are in their hundreds or they are in their thousands, and again, there's a way information flow. You cannot tell me that because two people are watching, the information is now restricted to those two people. No, the information can move from those two people to another 200 people. That's the way information flows. I've been here by the grace of God for the past 16 years consistently. Now, for those that are watching us, that are still holding Guarantee or holding Zenith, what would be your advice?
Okay. In the first place, for anybody holding Guarantee or Zenith, has its objective.
Yep.
The ultimate objective of private capital in a competitive market is to seek where they can get maximum return at minimal risk. The rates at which I will have better return is much more visible in Zenith compared to Guarantee. That is an obvious fact, given the analysis by my colleague when he said with 50 naira you can get more return from Zenith compared to Guarantee. Today, macroeconomic environment to a large extent does not support investments that will bring about pride or bring about or massaging one's ego, telling you that I have shares here.
Or sentimental informed.
What your money should be looking for now is how to maximize profits. That's it.
What is
disposable income these days is no longer disposable enough to take care of those earning it. We have an opportunity where you can enhance your income. Use it efficiently. Efficiency is the name of the market.
But I like to say that our viewers should please note, we are not seated here and saying that Guarantee is not a good bank. No. I personally, and of course, these are regulated guys, will never stand to say, as a matter of fact, that I want everybody to invest in the stock market, so I will not be a party to trying to condemn one organization or the other. But the fact of the matter is that one of the critical factors behind wrong investments in the market is inadequate or wrong analysis. And Aruna had always said something such that if I don't see him again in the next 10 years, I will not forget. He said, figures don't have any emotions. He said, figures don't have emotions. I keep saying this. Aruna is taller than I, and then Bright is more plumpy than I do. What has made Aruna to be taller than me is in the inside of Aruna. Alright? And what is making me this big is within me, the same to Bright. But the truth is that when you give fertilizer or manure, at the end of the day, the crops that grew organically would be better than those that were stimulated. when you go to invest in the stock of a stimulated price, when the price of a stock is a lot higher, beyond the capacity of the fundamentals, in the long run, the first law of price movement in our bioeconomics will come to play. That in the long run, the price and the earning of a stock must match. In the long run. So it might take 10 years, but it will happen. Now, that leads me to the next question. Do I start from Aruna now? You know, there's something now that Zenith did not do. They did not incorporate the income, all right, in their earning per share calculation. Let us now say at the audited report.
Sorry, the foreign exchange.
Yes, variation. Yes, they did not include it in their earning per share. In case maybe such income does not come,
it's a one-off. It could be a one-off.
or that the rate at which it comes in the third quarter and of course the fourth quarter, what do you now think the differences will be between the figures from Guarantee and the figures from Zenith? If
all things remain equal, and maybe at the end of quarter 4, that these two organizations are going to rely, going forward, their organizational efficiency, I believe by the time Zenith begin to bring back, because what they did is just to put it on hold. I know they were going to bring it on table by the time it's the end of quarter 4. By the time they incorporate it, their earning per share will shoot. They will do better than they did last year.
In other words, if you believe or support what Aruna has just said, Zenith is not necessarily a buy for the short term, but a buy for the medium term.
For the long term.
Because if you are looking at the quarter 4 earning per share of 3.36 cover that we have there for last year, and they have used their gain on foreign exchange differential to make 2.36 cover.
They should be reporting about 70% of this in their second quarter.
Close to what they did last year.
As a matter of fact, if they had used that by third quarter, they will be matching what they did in the entire fourth quarter of 2015. Okay, with this kind of figure that we are seeing, of course, we do not know the number of analysts that will be looking at it from our point of view. We do not know the number of investors that will be making use of this kind of information. Are we saying that it is possible for the price of Guarantee to still come down a little bit, at least from this level, particularly from what we saw on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange on Wednesday when the result was released? Right.
Basically, the pricing is still on, but one thing I want to believe is that at 25 naira, given a comparative position from Zenith selling at 15 naira, for a rational investor that is seeking maximum return on his investment, given the current macroeconomic condition, efficiency of investment, it is more paramount than any other thing we are looking at now. So we are not talking about the effectiveness of your investment, is the efficiency. So if I have 25 naira tied up somewhere and I need to take an action that will increase the return on that 25 naira, what I'm saying is that I will definitely put that thing on hold where I have 25 naira and go to where I have a lesser price, take more of the return from there. I can come back later and keep my money in the place where I have it before. Given the current macroeconomic condition, the efficiency of investment is much more paramount and important than the size of what you call your investment. It's better I live in a one-room apartment, being able to feed myself, than to live in a big house, still begging for food to eat.
Aruna, I want us to now conclude this so that we can do one or two things before we round off on this presentation today. So, do you see a guarantee coming down below this? If yes, what price do you think it will probably come to?
The closure date is 1st of September, which is about 2 weeks from now. That is still in force. That can hang guarantee between this 25 naira. But the moment it is marked that, we shall know that it will be located down. Can go and set to around 23 naira, 22 naira. But for now, since the 25 kobo is still in force, guarantee will trade in this region until it is marked down.
Anyway, we've been talking about the latest audited second quarter report from Guarantee Trust Bank PLC, and of course, comparing it with that of Zenith Bank PLC. With the price of Zenith currently standing at 15 naira and that of Guarantee currently standing at 25 naira, I think it is clear that Zenith has a higher probability of moving higher in price than Guarantee. From what I can see, future expectation had really been incorporated to the price of Guarantee. And in the case of Zenith, it still has a lot. The higher the price of Guarantee at current level, the more expensive relative to reality that the price of the stock becomes. But in the case of Zenith, I think it still needs a lot of journey upward to be made. But we must also know this fact that we buy stocks for different reasons. There are people that will buy Guarantee even at 30 naira. All the figures we are looking at, they are not interested. Just buy me Guarantee.
Yeah.
All right? So, Zenith, it might just be, I don't like the face of their
Chairman.
for not just, like year 2000. I made just simple, all my career, I have never been given to all those complicated, comprehensive analysis. I just did little analysis like this, saying the price of 7-Up at 3 naira in year 2000. I compared it with the price of Total and the earnings of Total, the price of Mobile and the earnings of Mobile, price of the Nesu and the earnings of Nesu. I made a presentation to one big-time investor. You know what he said? He said, Abayomi, company Kora, he never bought. 3 years down the line, he came to ask me, Abayomi, I said, yes, sir. He said, the type of analysis I did in 7-Up that time, when that which I saw 3 years before had now become a reality in the price of 7-Up, he said, I should go and make that kind of analysis again. You know what I told him? No. I said, it is not very common. It is not an everyday thing. So, guys, I want to say a very big thank you to you. Unfortunately, we couldn't even do some other market, but I think this one that we have done, it's good enough. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you also, Aruna. But we are going to continue this discussion on Stocks Watch FM Nigeria. Right, 7 to 8 o'clock on Thursday. We're going to be releasing it to the market. And if you want access to that, you can actually go on StocksNG, www.stocksng.com. That's our website. When you go to the homepage, you will see radio and a copy of this video presentation will also be on stocksng.com. I remain yours sincerely in wealth creation, its accumulation, also preservation via the stock market. Abayomi Obabolujo. Thank you so much for being there always. God bless you. See you again.